My name is Angel Lateral, and when it comes to practicing law, I resonate with the human spirit just as much as the judicial system. This isn't your typical business legal advice show, and I'm not your typical lawyer. As an attorney, I have over 16 years of legal experience in the areas of business law and estate planning. As a project manager, I love building and nurturing systems that work. And as a certified guide in the lineage of King Solomon, transformation consultant, and practicing Buddhist, I know this all starts with a healthy mindset. Welcome to the Laws of Abundance podcast. Legal advice from an angel. I'm your host, Angel Lateral. Hello, my lovely listeners. I would like to share a quote with you from the great inventor and futurist, Nikola Tesla. Inside the earth, there are energies of joy, peace, and love that are expressed, for example, through a flower that grows from the earth, food that comes out of it, and everything that makes it our home. I've spent years looking for ways that this energy could influence people. The beauty and aroma of roses can be used as a medicine and the sun's rays as food. Life has an infinite number of forms, and the duty of scientists is to find them. All I do is look for them. I will not give up. The universe is alive in all its manifestations. The stone is a sensitive being, such as plants, animals, and people. A star that shines asks to be seen, and if we were not self-absorbed, we would understand its language and its message. The breath, the eyes, and the ears of a human being have to fulfill the breath, the eyes, and the ears of the universe. End quote. I read this quote this morning on a post from a Facebook group. I wouldn't recommend going to Facebook for inspiration. It's usually a time-sucking hole that leaves me wondering why I went there in the first place. But today, luckily, after meditation in a relaxed mind state, I followed only one rabbit hole, and it led me to Tesla's words, which immediately reminded me of sacred geometry and this week's law of abundance, the superpower of awareness. The beauty I find in Tesla's words, which are of course quoted without a reference, so I cannot confirm or deny that they are in fact his words that I found on Facebook. I can just hope. But either way, there is beauty in these words because it is getting at what lies beneath just what we immediately see and perceive. A recognition that rocks, crystals, plants, flowers have a shape and an energetic signature, a vibration, an aliveness, and that to tap into this vital life force energy, one only has to be aware that it's there and actively look for it. So much can be experienced if we are willing to be aware of its existence. The process of self-awareness is like this as well. And if we are aware of things all around us, all the time, then we see, sense, and experience those things. And we can engage with those things, to build on those things, to take advantage of synchronicity and opportunities so that we are in the flow of the universe versus plugged into a self-absorbed matrix, keeping us asleep and not going anywhere in our lives. Let's think about the movie The Matrix, the very first one from the early 1990s, for just a second. The character of Neo, how did he learn how to be so powerful? First, he made a choice between the red and the blue pill, and he chose awareness. In the story, this was symbolized by him being unhooked and freed from being a human battery cell for a giant parasitic machine. And with this choice and awareness that he had free will now, he then began his training to become aware of the energies he could manipulate and use in his reality. He became aware that a lot of his reality was story and illusion created by this machine. But in being aware of that, he could become the spoon, bend the spoon, wield the materials of the story itself to become a superhero. All of this was conscious choice to become aware and tap into the life force energy surrounding him. which in the story is symbolized by him gaining superhuman abilities to beat the negative forces inside the Matrix machine. Is this an allegory? Yes, it is. And this is why awareness is a law of abundance and a superpower. It literally can give you superhuman abilities. The ability to tap into your creator God goddess. The ability to experience joy, love, and wonder like you never have before. To be living alive in the flow of things versus fighting them. So you might be like, Angel, you've really lost it now. What is this Nikola Tesla Matrix science fiction bullcrap you're trying to feed me? I knew you were woo-woo, but now you just cray-cray. Right. Bear with me a moment. Let's look at this from the perspective of being unaware for just a second. Tesla's quote says, "If we were not self-absorbed, we would understand its language." He's speaking of the language of the stars here, but we can apply this to a more mundane example. The best mundane example I can think of in my own life is when I've lost my car because I forgot where I parked it, because I was never aware of where I parked it, because I was so in my head when I parked it, I literally went through the motions but had no awareness of what I was doing. I've lost my car twice in my life this way. One time because my job was so stressful, I was thinking about what so-and-so was going to say or do in reaction to me, and I was angry because someone else was acting badly, and I didn't like how they were treating me, and my head was literally me, me, me. So similarly, I lost my car on another day when I was thinking about how awful it felt to be lied to by my boyfriend at the time, who was, by this moment in time, my ex-boyfriend. But I was thinking about all the things I would say if I got the chance to tell him off because his lies hurt me so bad. In both cases, I spent a good hour later in the day looking for my car in a panic because I literally had no awareness of where it was parked. I was so in my head and so self-absorbed when I parked it, I had no idea what I did. And the moral of the story in both cases is that I was not aware because I was stuck on a mental mind loop of me, 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 and misery induced by the cycle of me, 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 self-absorbed negative ego monkey mind chatter. Both situations were very unpleasant. By me making it about me and then being unaware of my surroundings and what I was doing, so I lost my car and had to spend time and energy trying to find it later, which also felt icky on top of the bad day I was already having because I was stuck on me, me, me. See how this builds on itself? Now, had I literally stopped to smell the roses, as cliche as that is, I would have broken out of this cycle. Roses smell wonderful and are beautiful. And the scent and vibration is medicine. Cliches are cliches because they are something repeated based on truth. Roses grow in a spiral, just like the spiral of fractals you see in cauliflower and Romanesco, just like the spiral in the snail shell, the spiral of tree growth, the spiral exemplified by what math people call the Fibonacci sequence. Roses have a scent with a high vibration that brings us into a state of love and recognition of the sacred. That is why they're given to people you love and used to cheer people up and commemorate special occasions. They are magic because they hold within them the shape of love and joy from the sacred geometry of the spiral of growth. They are naturally a high vibratory energy, and I can, because I choose to be aware of them and their light, use them as medicine for myself. And I keep them and fresh flowers in my house all the time just for that purpose. I digress a little bit here with my happy sidetrack about roses, but do you see how awareness in this case, possibly being brought on by a plant known as a rose, could kick me out of being self-absorbed, thus bringing me out of the me, 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 and into see, 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 and smell, and taste, and hear what is actually going on around me. If I had stopped to smell the roses, I would have knocked myself out of that self-absorbed loop and become more aware of my surroundings, and thus later remember where my car was parked, and probably have a way more pleasant day as a result. If someone is very self-aware, they are extremely cognizant of how their actions affect other humans. And frequently, they are also very aware of how their choices and actions affect their environment. Both types of self-awareness are good and are the basis of this law of abundance. It takes awareness to have gratitude. So gratitude practice is an awareness practice. It wakes you up and unplugs you from the pity party that self-absorption can create and the negative thought pattern cycles it encourages. Self-absorption, or being in victim or complaining, also creates blindness. It shuts down awareness because you go into all-consuming negative ego and its illusions and stories. Good news though, we can use our friends, the flowers, plants, rocks, and crystals to aid us in this path to gratitude and awareness. We can use sacred geometry as well, which is also a practice of awareness. Crystals grow in sacred geometry patterns. Plants and flowers do too. Humans are made up of sacred geometry. Just look at the DNA double helix spiral, right? If you start down this path of looking at everything as alive and sacred and aware of all of its makeup, its energy, you will tap into the energy Nikola Tesla is talking about. You will, like Neo did in the story, be able to start to develop superhuman qualities of being able to use cause and effect, synchronicity, vibration, opportunity to your advantage for your good and for others. Because you will be aware of how you are fitting in and acting in your ecosystem. You will be awake and unplugged, or at least desiring to find your own Morpheus, so you can choose the pill to wake up from the dream. Half the battle is waking up and realizing that so much of what we see is illusion and stories our self-absorbed negative ego has built for us. But just like the couple illustrated on the Devil card in the Rider-Waite deck, these chains of illusion are possible to be lifted right up and off over our heads. The key to release from the story, those bonds, is awareness and choosing to actively engage in being aware of everything, thus not accepting the illusion as reality. And this is why Nikola Tesla's quote is so beautiful. It is his unique way of being aware of the magic of life all around him, and his commitment to always being aware and searching for more in those mysteries of beauty, joy, and love he saw everywhere. All I do is look for them. I will not give up is his vow, a man aligned with his purpose. He was far from what the mainstream would call successful in his physical life, but no one ever aligned with their true purpose is recognized as traditionally successful, because that is part of the illusion. But thanks to his commitment to his purpose, we have some amazing things today, thanks to his awareness. So what can you create in your life if you cultivate such a level of awareness? What are your superhuman abilities if you unhook from the matrix of illusion and start to wield the tools at your disposal in your true reality? Feeling like you can't get there alone or want a little help? Are you curious and want to explore this concept more? Well, I can help with that. Reach out. Let's talk about it. I don't have a magic pill to unplug you immediately with no effort, but I definitely have tools you can practice to grow this superpower, so you can start to be more aware of your powers and tap into the medicines, joys, and magic of this planet and your life. So happy new day, beautiful listener. Now go out into the world and use your newfound superpower. Simply being awake, because so many of us are asleep. Enjoy your new reality, and may you learn how to fly. Thank you for allowing me to help you prosper. If you like this podcast, please review and subscribe. You can find out more about me at laterallaw.com/Laws of Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Angel Lateral, and I can help with that.